Well, some of these things are related to Iran. Of course, the energy discussion is central to what has been happening and what the recovery from the major military operations will look like when things begin to flow.
And real quick,
I
Steve,
think that
I hate to cut you off right now, but there they are. There is the royal couple.
Yeah, they are, as they descend the steps there, the visiting couple will receive posies from the children of British military families based in the U.S. And then they are greeted by federal, diplomatic, state representatives, including senior members of the British Embassy in Washington.
They're also going to get the national anthems by both countries played.
That's the U.S.
Take a listen
military
right
band.
now, shaking some hands out there. Steve, I want you to pick that. Yep, it looks like it right there. All right, we're going to listen in to the pomp and circumstance here. And there are the posies.
Yep, they're the posies that are given to them.
Hillary, I want you to talk about this moment right here. How important is this, the first couple minutes, getting off the plane, meeting with families, the children here? Talk about that.
Well, I think you're asking the question that we're actually looking at, which is why are we staying on this? Because it is very important. I think you're going to see all the major networks focusing on this, the king stepping foot on US ground. I thought it was rather sweet there, actually. I don't think the little boy was expecting to shake hands, which I thought was rather adorable. I think that was a rather nice touch. And of course, we know that King Charles has a wonderful relationship with his grandson, George, who is going to be obviously king one day. And he has a great relationship also, of course, with Charlotte and with Prince Louis. He has a special bonding actually with Prince Louis, who's the youngest one, who we know always seems to steal the show.
Yeah.
But with regard to this now, this lineup, this is very important. Why? Because you can see King Charles there, he's actually having conversations with people. He isn't just giving a perfunctory handshake and sort of moving along aloof. And there's always this stereotype, I think, sorry, but being English born, I know Americans seem to have this negative stereotype. Oh, the royal family is very aloof. No, King Charles is a very personable man. He cares deeply about people. You can see how polite and lovely he's been with people and holding a real conversation there, which I think is rather lovely, a nice touch. And he must be absolutely exhausted. They've just flown across the Atlantic and he's not exactly a spring chicken. And he's been fighting cancer. So how many, we've all flown across the Atlantic, I think most of our audience, and you're exhausted when you arrive here. And look how polished they look and the energy he has at his age, fighting cancer at the moment. I think it's rather admirable.
Yeah, I believe that's Ambassador Monica Crowley with them there, and
That's
she's
right.
the person who oversees and arranges all of these events to make sure they go off flawlessly. And they just proceeded through that honor cordon of U.S. military personnel, and the military band now playing a bit more.
God save our country. Long live our noble.
Ending with Great God, Our King.
Okay, the British national anthem. General Clark, hey, you were head of NATO. When you see the head of state over here for the, well, you were going to listen into our national anthem.
is ironic that our national anthem, written by a person who was on a British boat watching the battle at Fort McHenry when the British were bombing it and the United States forces repelled the attack.
My, how far we have come in 250 years. General Clark, again, want to bring you back in, head of NATO at one point, to see this moment and the significance of it. What's going through your head right now, and that we continue to have a stellar relationship between our two countries? Go ahead.